So we're going on S1, slightly to the left. And yes, you are super duper uber duper flexible. Super duper 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 flexible. There you go.
Walk it out.
Walk it out.
Butter.
Do you see though? What was it? Just take it all the way down.
I always assumed that it was way harder than that.
It's not.
It's so gentle.
Yeah.
It really is.
Wow. Okay. So a couple of things to be said about this video. So it's great that she felt that it was a gentle adjustment, but he says super duper flexible sacrum, meaning I'm not sure exactly what he means actually.
I think he said like 3 times.
Yes, but I'm not sure if he means super duper flexible in terms of in the pelvis, within the sacroiliac joints, or within the spine, because her spine has
Very lordotic.
Yes, very strong lordotic.
A big curve in the lumbar spine. Heavy lordosis.
Yeah. So one of the things that concerned us about a video like this is that one adjustment like this is certainly not going to do any harm unless it's done in a teenager. So the reason for teenage spine being a bit more susceptible to injury is because it hasn't reached skeletal maturity. In other words, you can create an actual fracture just like in any other sport that goes through hyperextension.
Yeah, and she was young, but I don't think she was a teenager.
Right.
It's.
But as soon as you say super duper flexible, you are essentially saying there's a lot of motion there. And so the solution shouldn't be to exploit that motion and to push through it.
More motion.
Right. It's to stabilize it and to create more stability and to create more strength. And this is not to say that one is mutually exclusive of the other. You can do adjustments, but forcing something into a motion where it doesn't try to do by itself is not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, people who have hyper laxity in their joints, who are hypermobile, they're much more prone to musculoskeletal injuries. And it's because of that hypermobility, just like you were saying. And so, the thing I was thinking the whole time I was watching was, somebody get this woman into a Pilates class, or, to do some strengthening of the core to give it some stability.
Core stability, pelvic stability, abductors of the hips, all of that.
Yeah, and I actually do think that you could hurt someone with even one adjustment with that, because you have someone who's already hypermobile. It wasn't a particularly forceful adjustment. You could tell the guy's done it a million times, and I'm sure he's very good at it. But at the same time, you take someone who's hypermobile, you put even more mobility into that, you're certainly flirting with a problem.
Yes, and here's the thing. We work with a lot of chiropractors, and we think that there's a lot of value, the adjustments that can bring to the overall spectrum of the relief and recovery. But ideally, you tackle it from multiple angles. And ideally, you change the physiology, you change the biomechanics of the spine and the pelvis, and that way the person gets to keep it. It's the old adage of, giving somebody a fish or teaching them how to fish. And ideally, you do that at the same time.
Right, and there's a place for everything. So like you were saying, someone who's already hypermobile, you want to be leaning into the strengthening and stability. Somebody who's stuck, that's where chiropractic can really be helpful to help break up some adhesions and get some more mobility so that people can exercise. Long run, ideally, I think we can all agree that you want to be able to have control over your own body and keep it healthy by yourself, which means exercise, which means really having a good home exercise program. And chiropractic adjustments can be helpful to get you there. Ultimately, we want people, doing the exercises on their own. For this one, I just, leaning into that hypermobility with more mobility is
raises concerns.
But hopefully she's doing good. She looked happy. So let's hope that now she's in a good strengthening program. Thanks for watching, everyone. And please remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.